Catcalling, it Catcalling itself is a type of sexual harassment that is rife on the streets. Catcalling works by making noises, throwing teases, and or winking at other people with the intention of playing a trick on someone. With the advent of the Sexual Violence Act (TPKS law, which was passed on April 12, 2022, victims of sexual harassment have become more protected and cared for, where enforcement of articles of the TPKS law is the right way to protect the rights of victims of catcalling. Verbal or non-physical harassment is at the top of the list of harassment that is most often experienced by society. Non-physical sexual harassment is an act that has occurred since ancient times until now, as if it has become a culture not only in Indonesia but also in other parts of the country. Both men and women, adolescents, and adults can commit acts of non-physical sexual harassment. Even though non-physical sexual harassment does not directly involve touching other people, non-physical sexual harassment can have a negative psychological impact on victims. Catcalling victims of non-physical sexual abuse perceive the experience of catcalling as an unpleasant experience. With the rampant acts of catcalling on public streets, victims who have been harassed before become very wary, afraid, and feel insecure about leaving the house, and victims even become insecure about their appearance and physique. Thus, non-physical sexual harassment that often occurs certainly causes anxiety for the general public. According to Article 5 of the TPKS law, it is written that any person who commits non-physical sexual acts aimed at the body, sexual desires, and or reproductive organs with the intention of demeaning a person's dignity based on sexuality and or decency is punished for non-physical sexual harassment with a maximum imprisonment of 9 months and or a maximum fine of 10 million rupiah. It is also explained on the explanatory page of the TPKS law that non-physical sexual acts are inappropriate statements, gestures, or activities that lead to sexuality with the aim of humiliating or humiliating. The application of Article 5 of the TPKS law can provide justice and protection for victims of catcalling who want to follow up on the perpetrator's action. Where according to Article 7 of the TPKS law, acts of non-physical sexual harassment from the perpetrator can be enforced if the victim complains about the perpetrator's action to the police or authorities. Complaints for victims are regulation that provide freedom for victims to always forgive victims or to receive further enforcement and protection, both of which are legal and become the victim's full rights. The implementation of Article 5 of the TPS law does not hesitate to apply criminal sanctions for perpetrators, namely imprisonment for a maximum of 5 months and or maximum fine of 10 million. Implementation of criminal sanction is the right way to eradicate catcalling non-physical sexual harassment perpetrators.